I like that look. It's a good look. But I need to keep it away because I'll...
Oh, yeah.
Plosives. Peter Piper picked... Peter Piper picked a pepper. Does that sound all right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's quite good. Yeah.
Okay. Right, well, we're live.
Nice.
Say hello to all your friends and family.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
What's up?
You're back after your birthday absence. What did you do?
Yeah. Well, I heard some. You said what we did, right?
Yeah.
You asked. Yeah. Family came over and we had some great time in my garden. And tomorrow I'm going out with a group of friends, and so still going on.
A week later now. That's just greedy.
Well, last week we couldn't manage everything in one day, so yeah.
Of course. Well, what are you going to be doing tomorrow then?
Bowling.
Bowling. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is it like a what do you call it? Like a themed bowling? Is it like I don't know, like 80s with retro or something like that?
No, I don't think so. Just, some friends spending time.
Standard bowling. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And dare I ask, how old?
Yeah. How old?
20, 22?
Yeah.
22, the big 2-2.
Yeah, 2-2.
Ducks in a row, quack, quack. That's a bingo reference. That's how old I am.
The 2 3s actually. So
2 3s. God, that's a terrible year.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible year. 33.
Yeah. But still feeling 19.
Do you know, I'm like doing, like, I'm stretching out. I've done it a couple of times this week, stretching out and stuff like that, and just my bones just start like popping and clicking. It's crazy. It's like, what is this?
Hear.
Yeah. And I'll be like, what? Like, what happened there?
It's called aging.
Yeah. But hey ho. So
yeah. What have you been doing?
What have I been doing? I have been filming lots, as tends to be my life nowadays, just filming videos all the freaking time. Which, by the way, I love, because I love actually trying out new things. I want to try and dedicate, I probably said this on the show before, I want to try and dedicate Thursdays to like actually coding. And luckily yesterday I had a sponsor that allowed me to just build an app. So I want to try and build an app every single week, and that was my app for it'll be out next week, but that'll be my this week's version of building an app, coincidentally with a sponsor. But next week, I just want to keep building, because it's just I love making videos, but I also love actually using these tools. I really want to be using them in like a team, because it's all well and good me talking about doing this stuff, but it's very different when you're in a team. And I think a lot of people on YouTube come out of this stuff from a perspective of working solo, and it's useful, and a lot more people are working solo, but I'm craving a bit of team action, some gangbanging, do you know?
Okay. I've been building a lot alone as well. Be like, to the point that now I have an issue wrapping my head around how many apps I'm building at the same time. So I'm building an app that is helping me to wrap my head around the apps that I'm building. So this is Axiom Forge, a crazy name, to basically look at all my apps that I'm building and just have a constant overview of everything that I'm doing.
Control center.
It's a control center.
Wow, less control, more monitor. Not mission control,
Yeah,
but
it is more monitor. Yeah, it is monitoring
command center, command AI center.
command. It is a command AI center. So I'm just like looking at the directories, the folders that I have, and I'm not really happy with how it is so far.
Mm-hmm.
But it's it's an approach, because in this new world that we are in, we're building so much. We are moving with such a speed that I myself feel like I can't catch up. So I'm trying to build environments and tools around the speed of AI so I can catch up. It's
Yeah.
just so much.
I think the issue is, and I've literally just had a video go out about this kind of thing, is we're in such a rush to kind of build tools. We're not starting with like solid problem statements. We're trying to play catch up. We're trying to build tools and trying to invent problems that we have. Oh, cute. Um,
Yeah.
we're trying to invent problems, and I saw a meme that was like, the amount of side projects we're all building now
Yeah.
is crazy, like over actually doing real work. I saw one where all of these people are trying to climb up the wall of side projects, and then another person was like curled up over on like actual client work or something like this. It's
Yeah.
but you can't and I'm talking to my friend as well about the whole open claw thing and this and that. And again, like if you want to get involved in this sort of stuff, just replace a problem that you already have. Don't try and look for problems. And
Yeah, this is what I'm trying to do. Like I'm seeing so many problems like everywhere, because like I do pay attention to details when I use something, and then I'm like, why can it do this? Then now I'm like, well, why not building a tool to do it? Because if I have this problem, like more people have this problem too. That's one way of looking at it. Another way is, why should I do it manually when I can spend 10 times more time automating it or making a tool for it? But it's, at the end of the day, it's learning for me. This is a new space, creating like web apps projects. This is new to me, so I'm spending time like doing exactly that and learning.
yeah. Yeah, this new tool that I built, I used Convex database from one of our viewers recommended that. Even though it's been on my mind for a while, they were like, you should use Convex. And I've used TanStack Start before, but I also built this project using TanStack Start. Not that I give a crap or know at all about how it's created or any of the code, but being able to work with a TanStack project and work with a Convex project and understand how it all kind of fits together is the point. The architectural decisions are of importance. So yeah. Yeah, it's hard to not to get sidetracked though. What I'm trying to do is, things are going really well for me right now with the channel, with the YouTube channel, sponsorships and such. Mostly sponsorships, and viewership is growing as well. So if you've come from watching my channel, thank you so much. But things are working well, and what I'm able to see is processes and things I have to do on a daily basis. So the issue that I had before running a company, growing a company rather, and trying to figure it all out, is that you'll have one sales call a month, maybe one sales call every 3 months. You'll be marketing one day. There's so much context switching that you
Yeah.
never feel like you forget what you do. So you relearn, okay, what do I do on a sales call? What's the process? Join the sales call, do a write-up, whatever it is, however you feel like you do, you just forget and you relearn. You forget and relearn because it happens so infrequently. Now, because things are going quite well for me at the moment, I'm able to see like the same things I'm doing over and over again. So that's why I'm able to dive into a lot of these tools, and I'm trying to systematize a lot as much as I possibly can with things like OpenClaw. I spent the day in Claude Co-work and Claude Desktop the other day to really understand, well, what can I do in Claude, or what do I need to do in Claude Co-work versus what can I get OpenClaw to do. And so I'm really enjoying. I'm trying to solidify everything so that everything works really smoothly, and then I can improve. Then I can like change things, or I can add something else. Do you know what I mean? It's very easy to get shiny object syndrome and start working on something else. It's like, no, let's glue this down. Let's lay the foundations of what's working right now. Take this opportunity to make the most of it, make the most of this opportunity, and build systems that support what's going on right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally does.
We have 29 people, so should we well, do you want to talk about Apple first? Actually, did you have your eye on anything from the Apple?
I had this in the intro too, so I could go
to
the intro
fine.
and
Let's
then
do that.
Go to Apple. Yeah,
let's do that then. Yeah.
Cool. Okay,
before we start, if you're over on YouTube, give us a like, give us a retweet. If you're on Twitter, a little heart. Thanks for joining us from everywhere, and scan this QR code wherever it is to join the YouTube where all our clips get released. We don't release them on YouTube, Twitter, do we?
So this week, Apple launched some new products. We'll be talking about those. OpenAI released GPT 5.4, not Codex. The naming, they suck at not naming. Claude Code now has a voice mode. You can directly talk to it. Perplexity launched Computer, something similar to OpenClaw. You can have haptics on your websites now, which is really exciting. It's so cool. I cannot wait to show you this. It's just genuinely so fun. And Figma launched Slots, something that was really missing, and Webflow is now rolling out component canvas, yet another canvas view coming to Webflow. All of this in today's episode and more. In today's episode, this is Cmd+AI. I'm Kabarza.
And I am Sam, and this is a week in AI design and dev.
Cool. Awesome. So let's start with Apple. Let me get to my screen and... All right. So something really cool about this Apple new website that it doesn't do it. The moment I want to show it, it doesn't do it. It doesn't do it anymore.
This is the homepage, right?
Yes, but like the homepage had an animation. So you would come to the homepage and there was an animation. Yeah. Maybe just give me a second. Actually,
maybe a new private window or something. Maybe it can't run on the Neo, so they had to remove it. They realized that website can't run on it.
No, I don't think so. But I have the LinkedIn post that I can show in a second.
I see. You recorded it, did you?
I recorded it. Yeah, I made a video. I mean, I posted everywhere, but LinkedIn is just handy right now for me to go and show it. Yeah. Okay, so just to show you what I mean, here you would go to the homepage and there was this animation.
Oh, slides
and
down.
I wanted to show it and also talk about it. This is, kind of like one of the nightmares when you do this layout shift type of animation. You are literally shifting every single bit of content on the website.
Wonder how they did it. Oh, hello.
Pedro
Don't mind us.
Yeah.
Okay. Show here.
So anyway, that animation doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, it doesn't. But the website is pretty sweet. It has a lot of nice animations. I want to talk about the website and also the product. We have this new MacBook called Neo, and something funny going on here. People mentioned it on Twitter. You see how I can select this text, but not really completely. They are masking the text into this like font that is not a font. They are not uploading this as a font. This is an image, but they are masking the actual text to this image. So it's, or like the other way around. So you have like a, so you have a custom font, but it's not a font. It's just an image, and it's still selectable, because many people do this mistake. They just upload an image and it's not selectable. It's not readable for machines. It's terrible. But yeah, this is quite
what's the
smart.
benefit of having an image that's been masked then? Is the background an image? Is it like, is it complex?
So they wanted to have this custom font, right? But I assume they didn't want to upload an entire like font family or like an entire font file just to have it here. So they just used an image. I haven't looked into the code too much here, but as you see, you can select it, but it's not completely selectable the same way. Yeah. Here we see also gradient text image. Yeah, so this is an image they are using there essentially. Now let's look at the rest of the website and also the product. It's the cheapest Apple product that you can buy. Not Apple product, with a display and with Mac OS. So this is like the entry point for people using Mac OS. That's why this like MacBook Neo landing page is mostly about the Mac OS and less about the actual laptop. Anyway, so they are showing the things that it can do, the shiny colors, and this one is also another interesting part of this website. This sequence that we see here, it's not 3D. It's just a video that they are scrubbing on scroll. When you scroll, they are playing the different.
It's good to know that Apple do this.
Yeah,
they're
the
committing
different
to
frames.
video scrubbing, because traditionally you'd have like an animated PNG or something like that, right? They're just committing to a video.
Yeah, and I think the video is bringing like it's kind of like the balance between all of these solutions. Having it in 3D would be the best, but it would be really heavy. It will be very like costing a lot of performance. Not really worth it. A video is just good enough. The only downside is it's a bit laggy because you have just so many frames to work with. But yeah, you have actually more of that. So this is also another one that is just a video that you can scrub on scroll. And yeah, they are showing the product. So the product, this is a MacBook 13-inch using an iPhone chip inside. That's one of the most interesting things about it. And that's how they are getting it to be so cheap, with 8 gigabytes of RAM. And people are, a bit divided on that. Is 8 gigabytes enough for, today usage? I don't know. Depends on what you do. I think for kids, students, my parents, that would be enough.
You'll know because it will be reflective on what you do on your phone, right? So browsing, social media, the content.
Mac OS could take more, right?
It could take more.
Could be more memory hungry.
I have no doubt that people who are even thinking about this are already overqualified for the type of
exactly. So if you know what 8 gigabytes of RAM is,
8 gig being, should I get 8 gig of RAM? It's like computer for you.
But here's the interesting thing. So people rush to buy Mac Mini for OpenClaw. This is exactly the same price. It doesn't bring the same performance, but then you have the question like, do you actually need the performance?
Yeah, you're right. It would be good because the thing is, obviously, a Mac Mini, you have to plug in a monitor with it and all the rest of it. And I'm sure people have some set up where they can whatever. But what did I watch? I watched something, and they were just like, "Hang on, what people are buying these fucking Mac Minis, and they're not even running any local LM or anything like that. And it's like, it's just so ridiculous, this whole Mac Mini thing. Again, I think it's just normies getting into AI, not really understanding, like they just following whatever they're told, and the person who just so happened to tell them is completely wrong about the usage. Anyway,
but
point
I think
is,
this would
has a
be
screen.
much better. Yeah, this has a screen. It has a keyboard. You could just
go over and
seeing it from that perspective. It is much easier to have your agent to have its own computer with screen and everything.
There was a head of security or something at Meta, I think, some girl, which deleted all of our emails. OpenClaw deleted all of our emails. Did you see this?
Yes.
And I think she had that running on a Mac Mini. Now, if you've got it running on a Mac Mini and it's doing that, like the front, like, you know, having to plug it in or whatever, you know, all that fuss, whereas you could just go whoop, open your screen and deal with it. Not that I mean, there's two aspects to this saga. The point is, it's hilarious that she's head of security or something like this, some to that effect, and it
AI
all her
safety.
emails.
So head of AI safety. Yeah.
The other one
really
being
funny.
Other one being is a Mac Mini is adding a point of friction to something that actually could do with a nice little screen.
Yeah.
But really, you do kind of just want it working away in the background. So I don't know.
You could also work alongside with it. Like in my experience, OpenClaw get stuck in so many places. And if you have it just like, you know, just help it to sign in somewhere. Because I had issues with it trying to sign in different platforms or like sign up. This could help with that. And for students, people are also mentioning the absurdity of this specific picture.
Oh, yeah.
There are two Apple products. They are the same price.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
So this is for people just starting, but the headphone.
I mean, that's an exaggeration, isn't it? I think the AirPods Max are $350.
I don't know.
And the laptop's $499 at its cheapest.
So AirPods Max.
I mean, look, we could talk about.
No, it's not. It is the same price.
Oh my god! Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah, it's the same price.
That looks new. That website. Look, you know, cute computer ain't really for us anyway. What are your thoughts on the Mac M5 Pro and M5 Max?
All right, let's talk about this. So there is the MacBook Pro updated version with Pro and Max, and the prices. Oh, so one thing that I noticed is availability. Not everything is available the way I feel like I could buy before. Like if you go with the 16-inch, and let's say the nano display, obviously. So here there is some weird thing going on with the memory. I feel like I can buy it with the Pro chip at 24 gigabytes, 48, 64, but I can't do 36. It's kind of in between, right? It's not.
Yeah, I noticed that. I think it's just because they're locking, because they're basically, those two are trying to get you to upgrade to the Max, and the Max does not come in, I don't know, whatever it is, 45 gig memory, you know.
Yeah, that's it exactly. So that's a bit odd, but I guess that's how the chip bending is turning out to be in M5 Pro. But and also the SSD is at 2 terabytes, starting at 2 terabyte if you buy the Max. So if you buy the M5 Max chip, and if you go with the lower CPU, lower GPU of the Max, and even like 36 gigabyte of RAM, I don't know who would want this. Like, why would you buy the Max chip with 36 gigabyte? It just doesn't. It's just not enough.
But how much are you talking to upgrade it to? What's the next step? 45.
So if I go with this one, okay. So this one, so we are at 4K for 36. Let's see how much it will be. We are 500 more for
So 500
little,
for
a little bit of upgrade, and then another 200 and another 800 on top of that.
because
I
the
feel
thing
like
is, it's unified. So like 36 is fine for a lot of people. You know, if you're not
for the
doing
Pro,
graphics stuff.
I would say for the Pro, it's enough, but like 36 gigabytes for the M5 Max users, I feel like that's quite low. If
Don't
you
know.
are buying the Max version, I would say like 64 or 128, because
But
you're going
why
for
though?
that.
Because why? Because they're different things. Like
Because people
CPU is
who
different from RAM,
I
which is
I
different from
understand, but like
GPU, right?
typically, people who would need this level of graphic, like usage, they would probably do. I'm thinking about Blender and After Effects and like really heavy programs. 36 gigabytes of RAM is not enough for those. I have 32 gigabytes and I'm running out of my RAM constantly.
Yeah.
So
Well, are you gonna get them then? Like, are you thinking about getting one?
I am thinking, but they are quite expensive and I can't really justify, because even though I'm running out of RAM, is because I'm building 20 apps at the same time, too many terminals and too many Claude code instances, which is not really justifiable to
Because
upgrade. But yeah, these
because
are really nice.
I'm between a rock and a hard place a little bit because I have a 16-inch and I have a 14-inch M1,
Ah, okay.
and I don't need 16-inch at all. And I think they've really fixed because there was thermal throttling that was happening. If you bought an M1 Max on a 14-inch, you'd get thermal throttling because it just doesn't have the fan, because the fans are physically bigger in the 16
Yeah.
inch. I think they've kind of fixed that. There's not much of an issue with the thermal throttling, so you can max out a 14 inch and it doesn't actually impact it in any way negatively, right? Point is, I've got two laptops and I want a 14 inch, and I was thinking, oh, I'd update to the 14 inch Mac M5 Pro. Thing is, there's rumored to be a design update that's going to happen at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's quite annoying that I've got these two. I'm trying to sell everything off. I don't know whether I've told you this. I'm trying to sell as much as I can off, and having two laptops is very much excessive.
But
Although
why
one
do you
is,
need two?
well, I don't
Isn't
need
it
to.
annoying?
No, I don't need to. No, that's what I'm saying. I don't need to. How it came about was what was I doing? I was curious to kind of test a lot of local LLM stuff. So that's why I wanted the 16. I didn't care for the 16-inch. Plus, I was very curious to know if there is any substantial difference between the M1 Max and the M1 Pro. And truth be told, it's marginal. It really is. I mean, I can't speak for every single model, but the experiment was, is there any noticeable difference from what we do between the M1 Max and the M1 Pro? And there really isn't. More specifically, doing what I do. Maybe not what you do, but, again, I'm just there to say some coding, AI stuff. I should probably run a few local LLMs on my Pro, to be honest. But again, I don't think the performance is that much different.
Yeah.
The only other thing to consider is that the M1 Max can have more unified memory. So if you need more unified memory, then you have to go Max. And so that would be a reason to go Max versus Pro. But anyway, ideal situation would be M5 M5 Pro, if I'm doing normal stuff. But if I want to be super greedy, I'd just max out a 14-inch, to be honest, and try and keep that.
I would go 16-inch, maxing out, like everything maxing out, and even like the 128 gigabytes, so you can have like virtual machines going on.
You don't need that. You don't need that.
That would still you know, if you want to go crazy. But we're looking at the dollar numbers. If we go to the German shop. It's ridiculously.
Say
It's really much.
$5.5 grand or something like that.
I
The
think it's
maxed out
cracking
version.
into the
Actually, no, it'd be
six
more than that.
grand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it'd be more than that because I only ever get 2
6.5. Yeah.
terabytes. 2 terabytes is fine for me.
Well, it starts at 2 terabytes. I would be
It's
fine
really
with
good.
1 terabytes because I have Cloud.
Mm.
So
But I do video
yeah,
on my computer, so I just need
yeah,
2
okay,
terabytes is
fair,
enough. But anyway,
cool.
so you're not in the market then.
Not yet. I'm also waiting to see if there is something like the new redesign and the touch screen. There are like rumors about those. Maybe they will introduce the whole concept for touchscreen in WWDC first,
Oh yeah, there
because
was that as well, isn't there? Yeah,
because the
touchscreen Mac.
issue is not just adding the physical layer here. It's the whole software thing, and I feel like they first have to maybe do something with the software. Maybe they will introduce the MacBook Air with touchscreen first, maybe. Because in WWDC they introduce the software, and then they show maybe a hardware that goes with it. Maybe that's what they will do. But we know there are rumors about touch coming to Mac OS.
I mean, I don't care for touch, to be honest, but it's more
Yeah, I don't
so.
know. Yeah,
It's more so what other design, what's going to be this big overhaul, what else is going to bring. But
yeah,
let's move
yeah,
on to Webflow. I'm done with Apple now. I'm
yeah.
done with you, Apple. I'm going to sleep now.
Cool. So wait, let me bring up. So Webflow is rolling out a super cool feature called Component Canvas. This is another canvas view that you can have in your Webflow designer, where you see all different versions of your component in one view. So here you see all of your components and you see the different versions. You see the structure, you can edit them, and you can have different versions. And you see all those versions next to one another. So this is really handy. I had access, but right now I don't have access because they are resetting like the rollout, and I'm not in the. I had it as the beta, so we have this image to show you. But this is pretty much everything about it. You see the different versions next to one another, and you can edit them. It's just much nicer because now you can like compare them, and you can see what is previously you would have to go them one by one to see if if you changed something, you would have to go one after another
Yeah.
to see the update. Now you see them next one, and this is like what's more exciting to me is this direction with like the idea of canvas that is Webflow taking. They showed it with the new AI gen in the canvas, and now they have it here as well. And I would love to see more of this type of like seeing versions next to one another, because this is something so powerful to see different designs, different versions, maybe different breakpoints all next to each other. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
That would like remove the need for Figma if they did that, right? If they did that for, say, pages and stuff.
Yeah. And I told Webflow as well that, and I'm sure they know it, this is not something new, but all of these companies are trying to take the whole vertical. So Framer is trying to do everything from animation to design to development, like the whole landing page experience thing. They have CMS now, they have the API, everything. They are trying to own the whole vertical and capture as much of the market as possible. Figma has a really good position, but it feels like they haven't really used their position well. They own the design, the ideation level, and now they have also development with Figma sites. And Webflow is kind of there just sitting around with only the development part, which is really strong, but I think they should allow like people to start maybe the design in Webflow, or have versioning, like versions next to one another, and with AI and you know these agents that can generate design for you. It'd be really cool to see like multiple versions in a canvas, and then you can choose between them. I think this is kind of like going to be, and I'm seeing like tools on Twitter to show that this is going to be the direction for the future of design and websites, where you have AI that can make different versions and you pick from them, mix them, and then you get what you want. Because what these AIs are good at is like, generating tons of versions and just burning through tokens. So yeah, I hope to see more of this.
Yeah, it's cool. And also, just finally, is it a free flow thing? Like you can just scroll around and move it around, or are they
I
locked
don't
in?
remember. I don't think so. I don't remember. Not here. I try to see if I have access to it in any workspace. None of the workspaces I have access to have this, but we'll let you know next week.
Yeah. TBC. Cool. Nice. GPT-5.
Yeah.
Should we get in on GPT-5?
Let's go talk about GPT-5.
So OpenAI's latest model brings native computer capabilities, allowing agents to operate computers, click through UIs, and handle tasks like emails, data entry, scoring 75% on OS World. We'll get into that, matching human professionals across 44 occupations. So here's the release. It's a really, I mean, you mentioned earlier on you're very confused about the naming. This might actually resolve that naming. So GPT 5.4 Pro has also been released. So it's GPT 5.4 and GPT 5.4 Pro. This is GPT 5.4 thinking, by the way. Brings together the best of our recent advancements in coding and agentic workflows into single frontier model. It incorporates the industry-leading coding capabilities of Codex, GPT 5.3 Codex, while improving how the model works across tools, software environments, and professional tasks involving spreadsheets, presentations, and documents. So, incorporates. Oopsie. Oh no, I've lost it. It incorporates the industry-leading capabilities of Codex. So that this has these coding capabilities built in. So really, if you're using 5.3 Codex, you might as well flip to 4 because they've kind of baked it into one. It's really annoying how just clicking that clicked through to that page, because now I've got lost all my highlights. Let's wing it. 1 million tokens context. You know what? I haven't been keeping track of GPT on its token window, but 1 million is I guess quite good, and it's our most token efficient reasoning model yet. And this is the thing about GPT, especially when you go X high, it thinks, overthinks. It thinks for too long, and then it gets itself all worked up. So these are like the computer scores here. 83, jumping up to 83 on the GDP val. SweetBench Pro, which is the one I'm interested in. This doesn't seem so high, so maybe SweetBench Pro is a different thing, but you can see on its coding score, which is the thing I care about, is higher on than GPT-3 Codex. So really cool how they focused a lot more on the technical capabilities of this tool. The interesting thing is it has the same knowledge date as GPT 5.3, which makes me think that they are using the same training data, but they're doing something with reinforced learning to actually kind of tweak the model and help improve it based on the same training data, which I guess might explain a lot of these point releases. That GPT-5, everything GPT-5 point is all the same training data, just slowly tweaked and manipulated and stuff like that. It might be that, and you notice they're all doing it. So it might be that actually the training just costs so much friggin' money that they're trying to avoid just training things up every year. We're sort of seeing a bit of a, well, what do you call it? Not a slump, but we're seeing that just training it and training and training it isn't actually reaping the rewards. You know, it isn't what's it called when you it doesn't compound? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've hit a bit of a wall. So it's really annoying that I've lost all my my marks because now I'm kind of at a loss now. Either way, better at all of the kind of stuff that you're used to, really, and I will definitely be using it in Codex, which actually we were going to do a test, weren't we?
Yeah,
I was gonna, because here's the thing that people have been noticing about GPT 5.4 Codex: it's not great at front end design, and my argument here is that they're not really giving it the best opportunity for success. They are just telling it or assessing its design capabilities by giving it a single prompt and telling it to build me a dashboard or whatever. So what I'm going to do is, bear with me. I am going to whack open Codex, and I worked on my own
the Codex app
from sorry.
Yeah, I always mix it because when you say Codex, I automatically think of the Codex CLI.
I mean, you know, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, the Codex app.
So I've got GPT 5.4 selected here. Let's go high, and I built a Frame.io clone because I need to get my videos signed off and all the rest of it. So I actually got, and the video will be released next week, I actually got Gemini 3.1 to design it. I think it looks sick. But what we're going to do, and we'll probably come back to it later on in the episode, is we're going to set this off to do a redesign. So, but I want to give it a skill. Here's the thing, that there are skills that are being, that are not being, oh my God, what's going on here? I hit enter, balls.
You can stop it.
That. Yeah, you can stop that. I'm going to give it a skill, a front-end design skill, because I think this is really important that we learn how to give the LLMs the task, or at least the abilities to do that. So bear with me 2 seconds. Skills. Yeah, so that's, I'm just off screen now giving it a skill.
Yeah.
Front-end design skill. Here we go. Front-end design, right? Is that going to set off a thing? So I'm going to give it a front-end design skill, and I'm going to say, give me, do you want to give me some prompts here? It's like, give me an experimental, or do we go clean and cool? Do we do like modern and sleek?
Yeah, but add some nice interactions and design elements.
I don't think that's design, though. I think we can do that, but I don't inherently think just because it's got interactions means it's design. We're focusing on the design of the app right now.
So that's color spacing,
spacing, things like this, and does it have taste, basically? So let's go through.
Tell it to be tasteful.
In some nice animations while you're at it. So give me a modern, sleek, and tasteful redesign of this app. Boom. Should we just let it do its thing? Because it might take a little while, and come back to it.
And you're on high, interestingly enough.
I'm on high.
Because I let it run on extra high all the time, pretty much.
Yeah, I normally do, but I don't think this is an extra high task, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I don't want it just to take ages and ages and ages. So let's it's got the scope. Let's come back to it and let's see where it's going. Because whilst we're on the codex, we might as well talk about this. They have registered over 1 million active users, weekly active users, since launching, which is quite crazy, growing 400% since early 2026. And that's I mean, I'm using it, but I do have, you said you didn't see this, but I thought that they've been giving away double usage. There's like a deal they've been giving out. The only thing I could think about is this tweet that I found from Sam Altman. I mean, it really doesn't matter too much, but we'll keep Codex available to free and go users. After this promotion, we may have to reduce limits, but we want everyone to be try Codex and start building. I'm pretty sure I saw something that they're extending the promotion or something like this. I don't know, but either way, I've been using it pretty heavily, and you were saying that you've actually, well, have you moved over to Codex?
Yeah, I'm using Codex app for pretty much everything because of the rates. The usage with Claude Code. I do like run Claude Code for one project at a time, because like I can barely work through one project at a time before it's running out. With Codex, I cannot even get close to even like using 50%. Right now I'm at 72% of my weekly, and that's after like tons and tons of use, all on extra high, many tasks at the same time, many projects at the same time. I'm talking about like 7, 8, 10 projects at the same time. I'm just like moving like from a task to another as fast as I can comprehend, and it's very tiring, but it still has a lot left. What is about how much have you been using it? Like, what is your?
I'm always swapping around. I'm always playing around. I've been using Claude a lot just because I really do like Claude. But yeah, I know the usage is better, and I have a subscription to to use it. So why not? Where is this? Sorry, I'm getting the Codex presentation ready for you.
What I also noticed that I like about Claude is like the responses that I get are more concise. I feel like ChatGPT just talks a lot, and
well, this is it. That's why I didn't go extra high, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, I'll be sorting this out in the background, so don't hold up for me. But should we move on?
Yeah.
Web Haptics.
Okay, let's.
Do you want to go through this one?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you do it while I get this design ready then.
Let me grab also my phone, and this one is really cool. All right, so now you can have haptics on your website using Web Haptics. So this is like my phone, and all of these, when I like click them, I get a vibration, and this previously was not possible. It was only possible if you had a native app, but now you can have it through a website. So you can install it on your website when people click on a button to get a haptic. And what's really cool about it is you can, as you see here, you can design it. So all of these that you see are essentially vibrations with like different frequency and different length, and essentially like different strength. And you can animate, you can like custom made whatever you want. And when a user interacts with your website, they get a haptic on their phone. And this, you told me this is kind of like a hack.
Yeah, so they've figured out a way to. I think only on Safari it's a hack. You bind the event to like a checkbox, an input, a checkbox input, and then you create it through that. I have a feeling that Navigator.vibrate works on, Android phones and all the rest of it. I have Android phone here, so I could maybe check. But yeah, it's a weird little hack they found, and all they've done is wrap a library around it, because you can go onto this. If you scroll down, there's a little customized thing down the bottom that allows you to edit what it is that you want. And it's so interesting because you've got these different they've got like success, error, things like that, and how they're able to capture that in vibrations is quite cool, don't you think?
Yeah, it, like you can feel it. Like it makes sense. It's a really good design. So when I click on success, it does like it feels like a tick. It's like ding ding. It's like you can feel it. And the nudge is, a nudge. Error is like no. It's like a bounce, and the buzz is obviously a buzz. And these are just the pre-made ones, and yeah, they're really cool. First time I saw it on Twitter, I was like, what is this about? But then you told me and I tested it on my phone. I really encourage you to just go to the link below and just click the buttons, and it's just so fun. Maybe a part of it is because I'm on an iPhone, and iPhones have like really good haptic engines. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm like seriously considering adding this to my next website. I don't know, for a contact button or something. I will have a section on my phone playing memory. Like literally like the game Memory with cards will be on my website. So this is like an amazing thing to add to it. For example, when you have the cards and you have it wrong, you get the error. And when you have it right, you get the success vibration. It's just fun and adding to the depth of the experience. And yeah, I'm gonna use it.
Did you notice there's also a skill that you can download to help you use the library? Not that it's massively complex, but this
that's what I want to.
This won't be in training data, so you're going to need some sort of way of telling the AI.
Yeah, it makes sense. It still makes sense to have that. Yeah, it's not in the training data because it's just so new. This is done by Lochi, a design engineer. I see you have it mentioned. So yeah, design engineers are cool, man.
And there was a guy who does a lot of cool stuff. Where is it? I will share my screen, don't worry. What's his name? Something AJ? AJ? Jay with it. So he's been playing with it before, and there's a lot of conversation in the tweet around the hack with the checkbox, which is, it's so funny how they can figure that out. And I want to look at the code. I have seen the code, but I wonder how you get the different intensities and things like this.
So you can essentially have two different parameters. One is the intensity, that is like the vibration, how strong it is, and the other one is the length, how long it takes. And with just these two, you can create like actual feelings, like the success and the error. They do distinctively feel different.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think it will add this new layer. I think I'll be definitely figuring out how it's done don't really mind, don't really care, but it's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Jehe is saying, nice. Never consider building an abstraction for this one, as it always felt like Apple could pull
It's
the
true.
hack at any moment. That's true. Apple could take it away. Made some demos around this for config in the past, where I'd leverage GSAP ticker for the dot click to get different intensity rates. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Really cool. People are loving it. Got 1.8 million views. So yeah, obviously people are loving it.
Nice. I'm still sorting out these designs, by the way.
I'm
it's
not
still
seeing. Yeah, still going. We should have gotten extra high, so we could. it would take so. Maybe that's why. By the way, that's also something I have noticed, that with I feel like Claude code is just faster, or maybe does it faster. I mean, I'm on extra high, so that might be something I look into. Anyway, I want to mention something else that you asked about the Webflow component canvas that I didn't answer properly. So you can actually navigate with scroll, pan, and zoom. So even though I don't have access right now, and I can't remember if you could zoom or not, we can see here that indeed you can zoom. And
nice.
that was my microwave in the background. Speaking of web haptics, we have stream haptics.
Nice. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, let's move on to the next one. Let's talk about Qwen3.5.
That one is yours, yeah.
And so Alibaba introduced Qwen 3.5 in line with smaller open weight models aimed at strong reasoning, multimodal performance, and much lower deployment costs, signaling how quickly open model quality is compressing. Now, I tried to download it onto my computer. However, the real secret is the very, very small version that should be able to run on your phone. But we'll get into that. Let me share my screen. And Qwen, oh boy, Qwen. So Qwen is actually owned by Alibaba. Did you know that?
No, actually, but it kind of makes sense in a way. They're like huge company. Yeah.
And they do have this Qwen 3.5 Plus, which is hosted in their Alibaba Cloud Model Studio, which we'll talk about in a second. Now, I'm always interested in the Sui bench. And again, it's all real world usage. You know, we can only go by, you can get an indication of benchmarks just to see. And when things have been benchmarked, it's hard to even know whether to even believe them. But this is Opus. This is, where are we? GPT-5.2. This is Opus. This is Gemini 3 Pro. So it's scoring better than Gemini 3 Pro on Sui bench, which is, you know, good to hear, good to see. And it's a cheap Chinese model. Do you know what I mean? So again, I think this is good for light projects, people just getting into it, people kind of just wanting a cheaper alternative. Does vision as well. Like, I really like Minimax M2.5, but the thing is about Minimax M2.5, which, by the way, they don't compare against because it does better. I think they compare it against Kimi K2 somewhere. Minimax M2.5 is only text, doesn't do vision. So from a multimodal perspective, it's quite a good little thing. So this is I want to do a video on this because their $10 a month plan supports Kimi K2 and Minimax and GLM and Qwen, provides up to 18,000 requests per month, and it's just for $10. Now we've got Olama here, which is probably, you know, competing up against Olama. They start at $20, and they're very vague about your actual usage. They actually don't say anything for the Pro, and they say 5 times more usage than Pro. but you do get that flexibility, because I think a lot of people are looking for that flexibility. Now, I was looking at the T's and C's on this, and I misread it. I'm going to go back. Are you going to go back? Basically, I thought I'd read that you can't use it on anything or any automations or anything that you're not in front of directly using it, and that ruled out, maybe it's here, that ruled out OpenClaw. But they actually explicitly mention that it can be used for OpenClaw. They say Claude Code and OpenClaw is
interesting.
It is all gravy, baby. Trying to find the page now. Yeah. Oh, we got something from. Yeah, I can't. Oh, here it is. Maybe it's this one. No, it just goes back to there. Anyway, I'm going to do a video on this. I'm going to do a video on the ability to change it around, the price and the usage and things like that. But yeah, you get access to Qwen, and you get access to Qwen 3.5 plus, which is obviously the badass one. So the thing about this, though, if I can find my phone, is that they've managed to get it to 6 gig, this version. And there's a lovely app, actually. I used to use a local LM. Do you ever use any sort of local LMs or anything like that?
No, I kind of have this tendency to go for the absolute strongest, best Ultra Max Pro one.
Yes, the old Maximilian. So there's this nice app. Don't even know what it's called, to be honest. That's really nice, and you can use just where are we? Is that in focus? You can use just Apple Foundation models, but you can also use Qwen 3.5 on your phone, and this is all completely 100% local. I want to find the name of this app so I can actually. Here we go. If I just put it in the chat. Yeah, nice little thing just to run. You can't necessarily. This is when handoff just decides to not to stop working. Yeah, it is. Search on Google. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Locally AI.
AI. Okay. So are these like
offline and private personal assistants? So yeah, if you ever want to play with it, I don't know what phone you have, but it works fine on this. But it's it's a good one. Yeah, I'll just set something off.
Run it.
That's all right. Just wrote a little email there for me. Took no time at all. But yeah, anyway, another step forward for Chinese model.
GDPR compliance
GDPR, I don't know if you. Yeah, I don't know what people want to do on their phones or whatever, but I don't know. Like, what can we ask it? Because it's like again having like the world's information in your pocket. Like, let's write a new conversation. Let's say, like, I don't know. Distance from Earth to Jupiter. I mean, this is more of a Google search, to be fair. I mean, it tells me 484 million kilometers. Took 2 seconds. Thing is, I don't know. Where's? It's like, trust me, bro.
We know for a fact that like these models, if they don't have access to the internet and if they are not thinking, they perform quite bad. Well, they are just much better with these 2 skills. They are kind of like very basic skills that you need, or like tools that they need to have.
Well, it's 4 billion parameters and it is 3 gig. And has vision as well. So it has vision baked in.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's really useful to have these type of models if you if you want to go back in time and bring your phone with you to restart civilization.
It really is. Do you want to do Perplexity whilst I sort this design thing out?
Yeah, let me actually, I can take that, but I would like to also check the article, and I would like to bring Perplexity. Maybe there's a blog article as well. I would like to get that as well. Cool, I got that. Oh, they have a nice blog. Give me a second. Work data.
It's really annoying. My the base website isn't even loading, but let's see if the work tree loads.
Okay, I'll go with Perplexity. So Perplexity just introduced Perplexity Computer, which is essentially a virtual machine that is going to be your assistant, kind of like OpenClaw, but from Perplexity. You can give it any sort of task, and it has access to all of the best models. It can decide what models to choose for what tasks and just do it for you. That is like the tasks are things like creating a website or a web app. It can run like for hours at a time. You can, kind of like OpenClaw, you can sleep and just before sleeping, give it a task. It can collect data. It can do analysis and do a bunch of things like this. So it's pretty cool, but it's not exactly like something that I would expect Perplexity to do, but they've done it, and I've heard a lot of good things about it. So, but first, let's start with the first, like the biggest, not like the biggest problem, but we need to edit this out. But before we go on, this is something that you need to have the $200 subscription for to use it. So it is quite expensive, but that makes it to be kind of on the same boat with Claude Code, with ChatGPT, like the Pro, the Pro subscription that you can have, and this one can do significantly more, and it does it all in the cloud. I talked to Christian from the community. He uses Perplexity Computer, and he has been building tons of apps, and he showed me the results. They were quite good. They were like quite good because it's using Claude Code, it's using Codex, whatever it needs. It takes the model and uses it. So Perplexity Computer operates the software stack just like a human coworker by using a computer. It reasons, it delegates, it searches, and it has memory. It remembers. So that's why it's like like an OpenClaw service all set up for you, and it can just go on and do these things by having access to a browser and a computer. So that's pretty cool that they are doing, and I don't know if you have much to add here.
Well, did you say he sent you the what do you call it, the screenshots?
No, he couldn't send me, but he showed me the stuff that he was doing with it. Similar in a way to the things that we do, with the difference that he needs to be less involved in it with these things, because he can tell the agent, and there is like kind of like an orchestrator agent from Perplexity that chooses what model to use, and kind of understand the tasks, and just goes on. Where with Claude Code, you have to kind of like go step by step. Same with codecs. That's what I see as being the biggest difference here.
Well, I mean, it's cool. I don't know whether it's worth $200. Like, what do you think? What do you?
I
Where
think
are they
it is.
getting that from?
I think it is worth $200 a month. So for people who've been like, there are people paying Claude Code and Codex $200 a month. And the thing with Perplexity Computer is that you can use different models, and it's just much easier to set up. You just log in, you have a dashboard, and you build different projects. Where with these other tools, you're dealing with the CLI, or you're dealing with buggy apps. I mean, the Codex app is very buggy for me. The Claude Code is taking too much RAM. So it has these like nice features, and the fact that it runs on the cloud, I think it is worth it for somebody who wants to build a few apps, or just, you have like a specific use case, you need to build it, but you don't want to be involved with it too much, or you don't want to have it only locally. This builds it and hosts it for you. It pushes it to GitHub. It kind of just takes care of everything, where if you build it locally, you do need to have a kind of like a technical level of knowledge, or deal with the models to help you set up your local server and run it every time and things like that, and host it and choose a hosting platform. This does it all for you.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
The results are in.
Okay, cool. Then
are you excited?
Yes. Let me see if for Perplexity, if we have anything else that you had in the notes. API reduce reliance. Company pivoting from okay. Yeah, I think we talked about everything that you had. Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you get. This is what you get when you dedicate an AI to design only. Okay, when you get to focus on the design, not one-shot prompt, build me an app, and by the way, make it look absolutely beautiful. This is a separate task that just says, do me a design. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, in the red corner, GPT-5.4 with a front-end design skill. What do you think?
Okay. This looks like my drinks app very much.
What did you use to design it?
Replit. I saw this and I was like,
I guess that.
Yeah.
Replit uses 3.1.
Yeah, so to be honest, it's nice, but it's very OpenAI looking for me.
See,
they have this tendency.
That much experience. See,
they have this tendency to do that like extra round corners. Like the corners are always so rounded, and I literally had this, and I had a very similar design, and I told my Codex to remove the serif font, and also don't make the corners so round, and don't have like too many corners. But that aside, I think it's pretty decent.
So the only thing that really bothers me, it's kind of done some weird stuff, like doubled up live session, and like there's a card within a card here, within a card within a card. So many. This is like card hell.
Exactly.
Right now.
Exactly.
But the font is quite nice. If we go into create workspace, let me log in.
So I see it's trying like different things that are, it has like the animations.
So it's got I can create projects and things like this. Do you know what it's done though? It's really changed new project. Oh, that screwed that up. It's really
Yeah.
changed a lot. And what I want to show you here as well is the GPT-3 design, Gemini 3 design, which I will stick to, because I think it looks probably better, to be honest. But this is this is only screenshots. I can't get the app running to show you it. So this is what it created.
Okay. Yeah, this is a bit more like edgy and unique. The other one did look like my drinks app, to be honest, a lot.
And without interacting with it, I find it hard to show you. It does feel like very like blinky. Everything's like the Matrix kind of like everything blinks in. This is one of the projects I made in the app, and then this is like the upload screen. Very, very simple, but all of the effects felt very glitchy and blippy, and you can imagine all these like sounds going off. And the name of the app's Greenlit as well, by the way. Okay. So I'm going to stick with that. Cool. It's green, obviously, and there's a couple of things going back to GPT's Go. We were quite lazy. The only thing I will say, we were quite lazy in the prompting. So I'm sure a better prompt might actually do a better job. I should have said, do not change the layout, because it really has added. You saw the difference between this is the project upload screen, it really has changed a lot, whereas I should have said don't change anything about the product. And I was lucky in the instance of the Gemini version is that I didn't say that either. So this is, again, I think quite important. I'll be making a video about this, by the way, about putting these designs up against each other and getting the best out of them. And one of them will be build your app, but then have it potentially even do like a design review or something like that. So yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. I don't hate this design. A lot more creative than I thought it would be. But you compare this to some of the designs that people are complaining about, and they're very much, classic AI generated kind of functional design over something that's slightly creative. This feels to me like something slightly more creative, and this is raw GPT 5.4. So yeah,
this works. This is like I wouldn't change too much except for probably the boxes within boxes.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at it. Look at this. Don't you see the similarity?
I see similarities just with. Yeah, but you can tell this is AI generated, I would say.
Yeah, and this is from...
The gradients do it.
Yeah, this is from some time ago, and I didn't give it any design direction. This is more about the functionality of the app. Once
so
you
it looks
log
fine
in,
from that perspective.
Yeah, I will change it, but I yet to find a design skill or a library that helped me. I want something like Shatsien, but more creative. But I guess that's a part of it.
Why don't you create your own skill? Why can't you why can't you create your own skill that does your thinking of how you go about design, the things that go through your mind, and build a skill and see what that does?
I'm creating a UI library, actually. Well, it's for controls, but maybe a UI library for...
Yeah, but I'm not talking about a library, because you want every product to be unique,
be
like
different.
Based on maybe this skill actually takes you through the like keywords, brand keywords or something like that, has more of a process behind the unique application of this particular design. Do they want fun? Do they want serious? Do they want bold? Do they want do you know what I mean? The classic journey of how you come up with the design, build that into a skill, and have it then run through your design methodology as part of that skill.
Yeah, I'm going to check also the skill directory and see if there is something like that for it.
Yeah, definitely. Good place to start, and then you can edit it and, whatever. So
because there are like web design guidelines. I see it has like 139. Let me share my screen. So again, we covered this in another video, but skills.sh. And I just searched for design, and we have web design guidelines. We have the front end design, and these have a lot of like stars or like installs. Maybe they are good, so I will try them.
I think that front end design was the one that I used.
Okay, this is from Anthropics, and this one is from Versal.
Oh, maybe not Anthropic then, but okay, fair enough. Mine just got front end design. I didn't know whether it was from Anthropic. It might be. I don't know.
I can't read it from here, right? No, I wish I could read it just from the website.
Yeah, it should do that, shouldn't they? I need to click in.
Yeah, it's just a text.
Well, what about the source? What's that guideline source? That URL?
Here.
What's that? Yeah, what's that?
So, should I just
open that up? See if that's it.
Oh yeah, okay, that works.
Oh, there you go.
That works.
Not even that big, but then it might be referencing some other supporting files, but yeah, not that big.
It's accessibility stuff, focus, form, animation, typography. It's kind of like standard stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's all you need. I think that's a good start with that, and then build on it. Like maybe you want it lightweight enough where it's able to flex around, but I definitely think some input from you in terms of like brand keywords and all that lot can help it rather than the standard like stuff.
Because this is the standard stuff, and it's
exactly right.
It's okay-ish, but
it's functional,
It's functional. It's not exciting. It doesn't make me if I see this, it doesn't make me like, oh wow, how was that designed?
So I put a post out on LinkedIn about Figma charging for their AI stuff, and also just generally how AI is changing based on the Figma code to canvas tool call on the MCP, right? And a designer got up in arms in the comments saying like, when you let me just read out the comment actually. Because I don't want to get it wrong. But I don't know whether we've released my rant or my thing on the comment section
but
from
that
last
would be
week.
Next. Yeah.
So look, where is he? I've opened up the comment, which is there we go. Cool. They said, try to vibe code something without Figma designs and you'll get the same design as everyone else. Asking for a line change or changing the line yourself shouldn't be a question. These drivel posts are annoying, blah, blah, blah. Same design as everyone else. My response is that you begin to realize that design is not important for a lot of things. Like for something functional, like your dashboard, especially getting up and running, the important thing is this working? Does this actually work? Is this useful? Otherwise, you've spent so much time designing something that actually ends up not being functionally useful. So you might as well use a design that, does look all the same to trial a product. And if it works and honestly, design isn't having much of an impact on it, it works with the same design, then there's no reason to bring in any sort of design aspects. For some projects. For others, absolutely it's got to look cool and whatever, especially if it's public facing, it's a SaaS product, or if it's just something that you, as you said yourself, you just want to enjoy looking at. Absolutely. But I think this has just created now the divide of like some apps can function and provide more ROI when you just don't, when it just has the same design as everything else. Do you know what I mean? So It seems like
Yeah.
it's gaining a bit of momentum on the responses there. So I'll be interested to read that.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, that's my
This,
input. I think we don't need design all the time. We just don't. The bare minimum, the average is fine.
yeah, design is often invisible. Like when you want to get something done, the design shouldn't, be getting in the way. The design is just a functionality in that sense. So depending on where you are defining design and what is the problem essentially you are solving. In some cases, you want to design to be seen, to levitate from whatever everybody else is doing. And sometimes you just want to blend in and get something done and working. And I think Notion is a really good example of that. They've been really good with design. I feel like they've been minimal in places where it matters, and in some others they are also like uniquely themselves. So
Yeah. No, I
that,
agree.
yeah,
Yeah, I think this other person here is saying, like, again, their brain is just locked into like, but we're just going to have to design it. And what I'm saying is, some instances, yeah, you will absolutely have to redesign it or work a different way or whatever. But there are just so many use cases that you don't need design. You've just proven it, and you yourself are a designer. You just wanted to get something up and running, and now you're designing proactively. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
But I just there's just so many designers, especially some of them are so locked in they can't flex. Do you know what I mean? Like if it, like again, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, developers probably have more to worry about than designers, like
yeah,
ridiculous amount.
yes,
And
like,
yet
yeah,
it's crazy. Like we're all like, coding is just not necessary. Like we could sit here and complain that AI code is shit, but most designers would be like, but it works. It's the same argument, right? It's the same
yeah,
argument, but the code is shit. It works. Well, okay, well, it works with a shit design. So, but I think, but the reason why I say that is just because I think developers are a lot less in denial about what's happening than designers. Designers seem to be very much rejecting what's going on than developers, I think, is what it seems. I work on my own all day, so take that with a pinch of salt. You know what I mean? I barely speak to many
yeah,
developers, but that's just what it feels like based on responses of my content. Should you move on? Because speaking of
yeah,
Gemini 3.1, Google quietly launched Gemini 3.1 Flash Lite. I
yeah,
the naming of products is crazy. I just don't understand it. But yeah, they've it's their super fast model, and I mean, let's just go through it real quick. I don't know what I'd be using this for, to be honest. I think Google are great as an everyday model. I've always thought that, but I don't use it to code. Yeah, cost effective. I guess this might be quite good for OpenClaw, to be honest. Something fast, something that you just need to get stuff done. Cost effective, 25 in, $1.30 out. I don't know what the difference is between Flash and Flash Lite. Maybe it's something that can run on something super small, like a
smaller,
phone. Don't really know, but it's here. Adaptive intelligence at scale for developers. How crazy is this? Why are they talking about developers? This is crazy. I wouldn't even use their pro model for development. So 3.1 Flashlight can tackle tasks at scale like high volume translation and content moderation, where cost is a priority. So I guess you're sacrificing maybe intelligence and maybe some accuracy at the price, like, because there are some things like translation, to be honest, where it's so easy for it to do. You don't need it to think. It's all baked into the data. You don't need skills. You don't need to do any of that. maybe it's good for this sort of stuff. 20% higher success rate, 60% faster inference times than our previous model. So with Latitude, enabling Latitude to deliver sophisticated storytelling to a much wider audience than would have otherwise been possible. So I'm guessing they are, I don't know what Latitude are, but I'm guessing they need to do some translation stuff so they can, promote it to different audiences, different countries and stuff like that. So yeah, Google's still chugging away there, but
Yeah.
I tell you what though, I have been using, and it comes into me using Claude co-work and things like this. I think I've been underplaying and under appreciating Claude as a conversational model. I think it's really good at asking questions and being quite meticulous with its responses. What I've really enjoyed as well is that I used to use N8N to write my LinkedIn post based on our conversations of the show. I take the transcript and I build posts out from them. I've now built a Claude skill from it, so I run it on Claude Code or Claude Cowork, doesn't matter. And I've been really impressed with how it's actually taken. Sorry, it's taken what we've actually said and brought that into the writing. Now, it might seem a bit dumb that it's kind of done that. It's been quite, but that's what I want from these posts. I don't want it to fluff up what it's been saying. It's almost like Gemini, because that Gemini, sorry, I should have said Gemini is what I've bound to the N8N workflow. Okay. I could use Claude, but I want to make the most of my subscription, right? It's cheaper. So, but yeah, I want it, but it seems like Gemini wants to kind of fluff up what it's saying. It's just, it's being too intelligent, if that makes sense. It's saying too many words, whereas Claude seems to be to the point with those posts. And then, as I say, generally, I launched a service called Shipfast, which I'll make a video on and talk about that whole process, which is me offering up to build AI products and things like that. And I discussed through Claude what it should be called, how it should be priced, and the considerations about the target market and stuff like that. And it was just really good as a conversational AI to help bring that to life. So maybe I said to you, but I am considering buying the $200 a month plan because I'm just using it for absolutely everything. I kind of really, really enjoy Claude as a model. Obviously, I want to give 5.4 a run for its money, but see what Codex is like, and GPT 5.4, like the chat is like, and things like that, because people are saying it's very, very good. But yeah, I've sort of always not really thought of Claude as anything other than good for code, but I personally have been mistaken. It's kind of my go-to.
Yeah, I'm using it on my phone as well.
Wow.
I prefer the writing. I prefer the short answers.
Me too.
In general, it is more pleasant, and I don't really enjoy the starters that OpenAI has. Like, absolutely, that's a great question you are asking. Just
Claude has this way of being friendly and charming, but without sucking your dick.
Yeah, it's being a bit more pragmatic about
it. But still being relatable. And I think that's such a fine line to draw.
Yeah.
It's not like cold. Like I generally like my AI just to do the job, get it done. But Claude seems to manage to just cross over that line of being just like, yeah, I'm here. I'm helpful. I'm friendly, but we're also here to do some freaking work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know. Something I've just been growing fond of Claude to do more than just my code. So speaking of Claude, though, they've released a voice mode.
Yeah.
And basically, there's a little video here, which I'm going to mute because last time we got done. /voice. allows you to just literally speak about what you want in Claude Code. Now, I've no doubt this will come to Claude Cowork and Claude Desktop and whatever. If it's not already there, I don't know. I'll have a little quick look now. Yeah, it doesn't look like they've got voice mode in the thing. So it's interesting how it's come to Claude Code first, but definitely welcome. And we were talking about Wispr. Wispr's kind of my go-to thing, and you've just recently discovered Wispr as well.
Yeah.
And did you find it from Lemmy's?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I was like, let me give it a try, because I've been using just the Mac
same
voice input. And if you're watching this, you might be like, well, your device has a button on the keyboard you press and you talk to it and it understands and it works. And I've been using it too. And it's fine until you try Wispr. And then you're like, holy shit, it's about like the very fine, there's a fine line it's an AI that listens to you, fixes your grammar, styles your voice input without changing what you are saying. It doesn't rewrite it. It just fixes like little things. So, and that makes a big difference when you're writing in a group or like to somebody, or like just writing to AI, you say something and then you start listing things and it puts it in a list. Like it creates a bulleted list.
Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta guess for a second.
No worries. Yeah. So what I like about it is, and I used to use my Mac built-in or my iPhone built-in microphone to like text stuff, mostly text. I speak my initial prompt that I give my AI. Like if I'm starting a project, I'll speak that, but I won't do it like they're demonstrating in that video. I won't do it throughout the day. It will be something that I'm really trying to think about what it is that I'm doing. Whereas I tend to just prefer typing my everyday like coding prompts. That's just me though. But yeah, the built-in microphone on my iPad, on my iPhone, sorry, not even the built-in microphone, but the built-in dictation, I found it was getting stuff wrong all of the friggin' time. Like it would mishear me. I don't know whether stuff was on the microphone and it just didn't listen or misheard a word. And the amount of times I've gone back and edited text because it's just not whatever. So not only does Wispr, and by the way, but Windows, it kind of sucks. Interesting, because obviously in the background it's using the same AI and whatever. What sucks about it? Like, is it like how it's what do you call it? How you trigger it or whatever, or is it just the way it just can't hear you or something? I was just saying that yes, it does format stuff, and that's great, and that's really cool, and it will, exclamation points, commas, all the right places. It understands when you're excited about something, or it sounds like what you're saying is like thanks, exclamation point, or something like that. It lags. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I've been using it on my iPhone as well.
Well, this is what I was going to go on to say as well. So I've downloaded it as a keyboard on my iPhone and my thing. The annoying thing is that on my that's boring. I won't even talk about that. I'm just talking about Dvorak keyboard. But yeah, it'd be nice if you could be able to easily switch between Wispr, and sometimes it closes the app, so it has to go to Wispr and then come back to the app that you're on. Do you ever find that?
Yes,
it's not quite seamless.
I put you can bind it to a shortcut on that extra button that you have. So I click
so
that.
It won't leave the app.
It won't leave the app anymore.
Interesting.
If you do that. So you do that, it runs the AI. It is about the permission for using the microphone.
Sure.
So it uses the microphone if you bind it to that key on your phone. What is really cool about it is if you speak multiple languages. So I have it on 3 languages. It doesn't have it in Kurdish, but I have it in the other 3 that I talk to. And I don't have to select the language like how you normally do with a keyboard. I mean, if you speak multiple languages, many people don't have this problem, but I have 4 keyboards installed on my iPhone, on all my devices, and I use all 4 of them. With Wispr, I have just this keyboard and I just talk to it and it knows what language it is automatically. It inserts the text. It's not laggy and it's working just perfectly fine. And on my Mac, it's also not laggy. I don't have it on my Windows because I don't use my Windows that much for typing, but maybe I will install it there as well. And additionally, what's really cool, you have a history of everything you have said. So if you want to do, like, if you are working with AI and maybe there is something that you say, it's a prompt, you want to grab it and use it somewhere else, you just go to the history and you have access to it. So that's really nice. You can also change the style of the output, so it can style your text a little bit. For example, it can make it more formal if you are in the email app, or if you are inside of Gmail, it makes it more formal. You can set those up easily. So yeah, it's one of those examples where a company does one thing. It's not like doing a bunch of things. It's just one thing, and it does it so nicely, so well, and it is changing the way I'm using my computer. For the majority of my time, I'm using Wispr Flow if I'm saying something. Another thing that is really cool, a use case, to my project manager, she's also doing like everything in the team, kind of like like an assistant way. I gave her a long list of things. Like I went outside and I walked and I started talking, and it was many long text. And then she was like, that's so much text. Maybe voice would have been better. But I was like, no, this is better. You know why? Because the text was stylized. It was clean text. We gave that text to Claude Cowork, and then we had a list of like to-dos to do. And then Claude Cowork added that to our Notion. So going from ideas, writing it down, giving it to Claude Cowork or Code to put it in Notion with the Notion MCP, all with just not many clicks or any clicks at all. It's just like with language.
And good to bring it back to Claude as well, because I don't have access to it. I've just checked now, tried updating, whatever. They're rolling out slowly. I wonder if this capability is being added to Claude, or they're using Wispr. Because if it was going to work, I was going to say a list of things. I was going to tell it a shopping list to see if it would format it, or if it would just type it out, right? To Warp, the terminal that you and I use as well, they use Wispr, which tells me that it's an API, that you can use it, just like 11 Labs or something like that, that you can use it in your apps as well. So we've got Sirand here in the comments saying about the Windows app being rubbish. And yeah, I think the API aspect, the actual translation aspect is fine, but the wrapping app is a bit shit. Maybe build your own app and then using the Wispr Flow API or something like that. But it's yeah, I think voice, Siri obviously being a very contentious thing was I remember when it first came out, people were like, oh, I'm not going to speak to my phone. Gosh. Now it's just like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Do you know what I mean? Like speaking out loud is just like, it's so much easier sometimes. But before you just came back on, I was just saying, I use my voice and I use Wispr. You'll see it on my videos. Is when it's my initial prompt. I don't code with it during the day, really. I do other things with my voice, but I don't code with it with my voice during the day. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how, what people use the voice mode for on Claude, and or if it's Claude doing the translation, or if they're integrating Wispr Flow and covering the costs for it. but it's still pretty cool anyway.
Yeah.
Workspace CLI. What's the time? 6 o'clock. Right, we've got Workspace CLI.
Yeah.
Do you want to do Figma slots?
Yeah, we can do
Or
that.
or should we do Workspace CLI?
Workspace
CLI is a bit boring, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I don't know the use cases for it. I mean, you told me, but it's kind of.
Okay, do slots, and then we'll finish with the DoW.
Yes. So let me I have the files.
Which, by the way, guys, we often talk about this Lemmy's newsletter, right? And I hate this term because everyone says it, but it's definitely a cheat code. You pay about $120 for the year, but it gives you back Cursor, Replit, Lovable, Bolt, Wispr, Warp Terminal, which is one I use. It gives you hundreds of dollars back in AI tooling that I actually use. Like, it's not like, here we go. So you've got Bolt there, Canva. I think that's for the level up that I have, though, not for
Me too. I have this one as well. We got this one last year, and we got other tools. Now this year you can upgrade to this and get more. So you get directly $50 of Cursor, just extra. Wispr Flow, Warp. These are good, but
I sign up to Railway, sign up to Replit. Replit I absolutely love. Warp I absolutely love.
Good. Yeah.
You know, I owe so much of my career right now to this newsletter.
Yeah.
So much. Like
Mobbin,
I wouldn't be able to afford it otherwise.
Yeah, these are so expensive stuff, and like you get everything. It's a cheat code, really. I don't know how it works out for these companies. I guess not everybody is like us sitting and actually using these things, and maybe even us, we don't like how much a human can use. I signed up for Chat PRD. I used it once.
Yeah.
It was good, but I'm like, okay, I probably won't use it again. Maybe a few times, maybe at best. But yeah, it's really cool. I wish, which one? I wish
Granola. I love Granola as well.
Yeah. I wish Replit wasn't in this like upper
I got
one.
it. I got it before it was. I sign up to everything as soon as you know.
But we are like it's over this month. Like this is the last month we have it because we did it last year about this time.
Yeah, but I have my suspicions that if you signed up to one of these right now, you still get the year.
Yes,
and
Replit is in.
Oh yes, that's true. That's true. Oh, I didn't realize you were talking about Replit specifically, but Warp, they've changed their pricing, and it's unlocked it again for me. So what I'm going to do is resubscribe, and then get another year of it. But I love Warp. I love Warp. I've made so much money off them. Referral, because here's just an interesting, pull back the curtain a little bit about influencers and sponsorships and whatever. I genuinely love Warp, and you see it in my videos because I actually use it. I use it in every single video, and guess what? I get so many referrals. I get every single day. I get multiple referrals for this tool. It's because I genuinely love it. If you see me use a tool, like they're the perfect sponsors, the sponsors who I use in every single video. Fortunately, a lot of the sponsors I use in every single video probably don't need the sponsorship, but Warp, they anyway.
Yeah.
So
you see mine. It's also my default. It's probably one of the most used apps that I have.
We did talk about 3.5. We didn't speak too much about it because I'm not that up to speed on it, but yeah, we did. If you dart back probably about 20 minutes before you joined, to be honest, 20 minutes before I saw your first message come through, we spoke about it.
Yeah. Cool. Anyway, so So introducing slots. Now Figma supports slots. And if you don't know what they are kind of a game changer if you are building systems, if you are doing anything with components with Figma and you were trying to do like different versions of something. Slots is what was missing and missing heavily. And I'm just so happy that they are here. I'm not super sure about the implementation, but we'll get into it. First, what is a slot? It allows you to have a component, and within that component, have a frame and allow other components to be nested inside of that frame. And not just one, you could have many components. So imagine you have a list type of component. You don't have to decide how many items your component can have. As like the designer or the user, whoever that is, can add as many as they need, and the component grows, with that, if you have auto layout, which you should have. But yeah, with slots, you can have components within components. So how does it work? Here we have this Figma Slots Playground tool, which shows us how it works. Let's actually go directly to it. So here we have this build your own slot. It's just a simple frame. We turn it into a component. So we do this from here. Now this is a component. And now that it is a component, we add a frame inside of it. And once we add a frame, we can make this frame to be a slot. Yes, here, convert to slot. We do this, just leave it as is. Now this is a slot. You see, this is not perfect. I'm doing it on purpose. And now this slot can have other components in it. To do that, I need to duplicate the component. So I have not the master, but like a version of that component. Now you see the plus. And here we can see what other components we have in the file and just pull them in. Now you see this is cutting off. It's not perfect because, this has to be, hugging and whatnot. You can actually do it from here. Hug content and hugging content. I'm doing something wrong here, I'm sure. What did I do? I managed to do this correctly prior to the show, but now I'm missing something. I confused myself. Anyway, it doesn't matter. If you know how to use auto layout, you don't make this mistake. I'm not a designer, but for those who use Figma, this is a game changer. So this is just like a quick preview. I haven't spent too much time with it, but I will after the show because how cool this is. And it will, what this does also, it will decrease the number of components and especially like variations of the components. It will decrease them by a lot because you don't have to have a different component variation for everything. You can just have a slot that can, have other components in it. So you can create more with less. There is also another thing that I want to mention. They talked about it very briefly, migrating components with slots. So apparently there is a way to migrate. Again, I haven't gotten through everything, but yeah, that's something that you can do. What else did I have on my notes? Another thing that is pretty interesting. Let me find it. Okay, so another thing that I found interesting here, you can have adding preferred instances. So I guess you can have like suggested components that can be added to it. Again, I haven't played with that a lot either. I found also another playground that I will play with to wrap my head around it. For example, here we see it connected And you see here you can choose the different components easily. You can swap them. So yeah, I
So
will
the
be
actual slot itself can have a designated set of options. Is that what I just saw then?
that's what I think it is. Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I think it is. And we see it here. Yeah, using slot, swap the slot instance in Figma for a customized local component. So local component is what you have in this file, and you can swap it. But again, I have to spend more time with it. Here, maybe I didn't show this completely and properly because the auto layout, I got it wrong. But as you see, you can have like different components here. Let me try to see if I can get this working. Maybe because this is not an auto layout. Yes, this should be an auto layout. Hog content, and this is also hogging content. Now we have like the components, and now within it we can have another component. So you see what I'm doing here? I have the same component within the same component. Yeah, I forgot to give this one auto layout. That's why it wasn't working. But yeah, you can already see how nice this can be and how useful.
Yeah.
Another one here, just to show you can have this one. Yeah. Things within things, essentially. I think this is like a perfect example of how it can be. You have a main component and you put other things in it.
Very cool. Really, really
Yeah.
cool. I think I wonder how these get rendered in, because obviously you can publish sites, Figma sites and things like that. I wonder if these all work within Figma sites, and and the prototyping. Obviously, it all work in the prototyping, but yeah, how it all can actually come to a workable product. And how this,
Yeah.
and similarly, like using the MCP and things, like how does this translate to something outside of Figma, or is it just a quality of life feature for Figma users, which it is?
So what is pretty interesting here, when I'm in the dev mode, and I select the parent. Here, at least, I don't see the slot, but I see
it.
the slot here and the panel itself being inside the slot. So if I click it, I see it, but just clicking the parent, I don't see it. And I wonder how it works if I copy the prompt and like with this link. Because if I say explore component behavior, then it does show the entire thing that is, kind of like within one another. Yeah. This is a good point. I will try it and see. Something that I have to still wrap my head around exactly how it's done. I'm very familiar with it, how it's done in Webflow. In Webflow, it is very simple. You make a div, you use a div to make a slot, and then you just drag any component that you want in it. And that's pretty much it. And you can have that slot to be a flexbox or a grid or whatever that you want.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this bad boy up with something slightly more serious, unfortunately. Have you kept up to date with what's going on with Anthropic and the Department of War?
Yeah.
So I covered it last week, and to give you a quick rundown, Claude and Anthropic have been working with the Department of Defense, which was rebranded to the Department of War. And they've been working with them for quite a while. One of the first companies to actually work with the Department of War, using their AI capabilities and things like that. However, there were two major restrictions on Claude for a couple of different reasons that meant that Department of War couldn't use it for what it wanted to use it for. Those two things were mass surveillance, so civil mass surveillance, and autonomous weaponry. And one of them is technical, and one of them is moral. Like the models aren't reliable enough to enable autonomous weaponry. Plus, it kind of goes against the constitution of being a human in the loop of making the decision whether a piece of weaponry should or should not kill someone. The mass surveillance thing is very obviously a moral stance. I mean, it's actually a very good use case for AI, is to trawl through trillions of terabytes of data and make sense of it all. So those things they wouldn't lift. And so the Department of War threatened Anthropic to actually not only destroy their contracts between the Department of War and Anthropic, but also label them a supply chain risk, which is, it's a step. It's quite far and punitive to ruin Anthropic's relationships with anyone who is also working with the Department of War. To just label them as a supply chain risk is a step too far in many people's opinion. OpenAI then stepped in and took the contract within moments of the original announcement that Anthropic gave, which was that we will not be lifting these limits for the reasons I just said. Sam Altman came in with it, and it really did not land well. I think obviously people were siding here with Anthropic, mostly for probably the civilian aspects, the surveillance aspect of it, and then it just looked terrible. And I'll go into Sam Altman's. Basically, I feel like he's digging himself a massive hole here, they're trying to claim that they're going to still uphold those things, that Sam Altman is trying to lift this supply chain risk aspect, and just, I don't know, it did not land well, and he got kind of slated on Twitter doing an Ask Me Anything, and really didn't.
And this supply chain thing is not small. Like from what I read about it, this can destroy the company, because there are so many companies that are somehow related to.
Well, we'll get into that, because
that's the government, like doing something for the government.
This is pretty much what everybody the update is.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll talk about it. But you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not. Yeah. And there was a big movement off the back of this, which was. So Claude even had to reduce its default capacity or default reasoning effort on its models. They had to shut off another thing. I don't know what it was, but the point is they had such an influx of users. It became number one on the App Store because people were leaving ChatGPT because of this. It was literally a whatever you call it.
And they made it easy, by the way. Like Anthropic made it easy to migrate from.
Yes, they brought out that feature, didn't they? They brought out that memories feature to move your memories over. Very smart, very smart. So they've really, they're in a lot of people's good books right now. Everything else aside, what you may or may not like, I quite like Dario. I think he seems like a very smart person. He left OpenAI because of safety. He wasn't convinced that ChatGPT had safety top of mind when it comes to artificial intelligence. So that's kind of where we're up to speed. Oh, and then I don't know if you heard, but war broke out. Well, I say war, that's a bit extreme, but the Israel and the US were bombing Iran, and
really?
yeah. Did you know this? Did you? Gosh, you want to read the news? And this was over the weekend, so I don't know whether any kind of AI was used in all of this, but it's obviously war is top of mind right now, and OpenAI at the front of it. And this was a letter that got brought out yesterday, which was where things stand with the Department of War. This is where we're at right now, and it was only a threat that they would be labeled a supply chain risk, but now we have confirmation that they have actually been labeled a supply chain risk, which the reason why I said to what you were saying is a big deal. They made a point, they're challenging that's not legally sound. So obviously they're going to be taking this to court, because the Department of War are not they are still bound by the laws that govern the country. They're not somehow escaping those laws. So they will, they can take them to court. But here's what I was doing. It plainly applies only to use of Claude by customers as direct part of contracts with the Department of War. So I just wanted to clarify that it's through those direct contracts. So you can still have your Claude Code membership. But the point is, I don't think this is enough. I think contracts will cease because they just don't want to tread that line. Do you know what I mean? They don't want to accidentally use Claude for a Department of War thing, because they don't want to have to chop and change between, oh crap, this is Department of War thing, got to shut down my Claude code and not have it running and this and that, the other. I think people would just be like, look, we'll just cancel our contract because this is too difficult to tread. But yeah, so still allowed to have the contracts. They're just not allowed to apply it to any contracts with the Department of War. So this is where we're kind of at. I'm just reading through it now. Basically harping on about this thing. Oh, there was a leaked email as well, which I didn't see, but there was an apology here about a leaked email somewhere that was not. It was a draft email that got leaked, so it never actually got sent or something like this. But the president has really been, as he does, has been very egging on the whole thing and fueling the fire, because Trump revengeful. Is Trump, very revengeful, and very much at the forefront of any kind of friction, any kind of he war and business deals are all Trump lives for. So that's kind of where we're at right now. And with obviously maybe it's not fair to say a war has broken out, but certainly some heated friction going on in Iran. We're probably going to hear more and more about
this. We know that they have used Claude for Maduro, for capturing Maduro in Venezuela.
Okay.
And another thing is, I don't know where I read, but I read that they are still using Claude, which I'm not sure about. Like if they are,
I think there's a 6-month wind off thing or something. I
maybe
don't know.
That would be also interesting to see if they can actually, because like Claude is really good, and like yes, in many tests it's like slightly better. But somehow when you use both, it's just better. So I don't know how they can deal with that, and it's really bad looks for OpenAI and Sam Altman. I mean, we have been at least like myself have been siding more often with Claude and Anthropic in general than with OpenAI, and we know that. Like Theo, he's more on the OpenAI side. In this one,
not in this instance.
Really hard. Yeah, I know. In this instance, he made a video on, but still, I feel like he still kind of was like, yeah, Sam is coming from like some of this is coming from a good heart, and he's trying to do something. I don't know. I don't think it's coming from a good. I think it is purely opportunistic.
Yeah.
OpenAI saw this as an opportunity to take a big contract, and if they have a chance to create a monopoly, I think they will take that chance. And I'm
it's
glad
so on brand
Claude,
for Sam Altman.
Yeah, it is, and I'm glad that Claude is now #1 in App Store, and I think more people should install it because it's genuinely better. It is like in so many ways. The only reason I'm using Codex, it's because it's essentially free.
Yeah.
Not because it's better. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, don't rule out GPT 5.4, but I think yeah, I think that maybe Theo is a little bit. I think he's very biased actually at times, but he likes the coding. He likes the code. He likes the dev side of OpenAI,
Yeah.
and he's met Sam, and Sam and him are buddies, and this and that. But I honestly, I get really bad vibes off of Sam Altman.
Same. Yeah. Yeah. I
You
cannot
compared him to
trust him. I
Mark
feel like,
Zuckerberg.
yeah, I wanted to say exactly the same. He's very much like Mark Zuckerberg. I'm not saying Dario is savior of us and for democracy or whatever, but I do genuinely think they are trying better, and their product in many cases is better. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah, so I'm keeping an eye on this, how this progresses, but it's it'll be really interesting to see how it'll be a true test of whether ChatGPT or OpenAI can even, I would not be surprised in 3 months they say, look, it's just not good enough.
Well,
We can't.
let's see if ChatGPT can take out the next Ayatollah. We're kidding.
Yeah. Oh well, there we go. Wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I did want to ask one thing. So we didn't do our coding thing on Wednesday, did we?
No. Yeah.
So what Kabaza and I've been doing is just been doing some agentic coding on Wednesdays, and I've been imparting what I know onto you and whatever. And I think it's just interesting to see coding in the flesh. If you want to, let us know in this video and whatever, leave a comment and we'll read it. But let us know what you want us to explore as actually doing code, or what you want to see, what you're stuck on, what you're interested in. Because they are quite cool, those IRL stream of actual coding. None of this editing, none of this one-shot magic. Just let's build something. What problems do we encounter, and how do we resolve them in real life? So yeah, let us know. OpenAI just dropped Codex security. Interesting. Cool. Let's wrap it up
now
there.
that we want to wrap it up, there is
Cool. Well, that's all we got time for. Make sure you give us a like. We've got a domain name now, CmdAIshow.com, Cmd+AI, which will just link through to our YouTube, to be fair. So go visit that. Give us a subscribe on there. Give us a like on this video, wherever you're watching, Twitter, Twitch, or YouTube. And that's it. Join us next week for all the news in AI design and dev. I've been Sam.
And I've been Kabarza.